to a lie, trying to get me out of spite. Someone's gotta pay, I ain't too.
And both teams going through their pregame rituals, getting loose well before we're underway. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to tonight's presentation of Noche Latina in the NBA. An annual tradition celebrating diversity and culture, and always a pleasure to bring it to you. Alongside mis compañeros, Steve Kerr, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan. Now a chance to check out our starting lineups. First for the Lakers, and manning the middle, a champion in his lone season at Kentucky, and the 2012 #1 pick overall, shot blocker extraordinaire Anthony Davis. Then it's LeBron James. And looking at the Knicks, they've got Robinson. He'll be battling under the boards to get the job done, both on offense and defense. And it's Randall in at the 4.
Well, for a long time, for the New York fans, going to see a Knicks game was an exercise in masochism, but they've turned it around in a big way, and now this is a tough place to play for a road team.
Brunson, he's guarded by Russell. Just to Hart. Get the shot. The good-looking shot from the wing.
And he's got one of those shooting strokes that never changes, guys. I mean, even if the defenders are all over him, he just never seems to flinch. A great quality to have as a shooter.
And here's something else, Steve. He invites contact when he's attacking the rim. He doesn't try to finesse his way through anything. He's going through bodies.
And Clark, that's what winning's going to do for you. The Knicks had the second-best home record in the East last season as they won 31 games here.
Well, you know, Kevin, there's so much mystique here in this building. Everybody loves to play here. It's the mecca for basketball in this country. And when NBA players come into New York, they can't wait to play against this Knicks team. And they want to defend their home court.
But this is how you completely rattle an opponent's rhythm.
Yeah, you know, such terrific on-the-ball defense to trigger the transition opportunity.
And it wasn't just a tough D, it was the exclamation point they put on the fast break with the slam.
Russell kicks to LeBron. That's out of bounds. The Lakers able to take possession. I'll go to Doris Burke, who spoke with Tom Thibodeau. Doris?
He said that one player he's really wary of is Anthony Davis, adding he can impact the game in so many ways. Defense, shot blocking, rebounding, and scoring. He's still adding muscle, and we've got to capitalize on that strength advantage at both ends. Kevin, that's the MO for any young player. We'll see how he stands up to it.
Thank you, Doris. About a minute and a half through the first quarter. The pass to Randall. New York moving it around. Here's Brunson. Passes it to Barrett. Shot clock at 5. That one off the back iron and out. So it's the Lakers now. LeBron, no luck.
You know, it's always fun to play the hypothetical game with players. One with LeBron is just how good is he? Like, would he be able to go deep in March Madness playing with a good high school team? It might not be as ridiculous as you think.
And it's the Lakers ball, trailing by 2. And a fast break now for New York. Oh, and that one, no question. And let's see this take guys in the hustle stance for New York.
They come out in attack mode defensively, applying pressure and stealing the ball repeatedly.
The other thing that's helped them early tonight are the points they've been able to convert off turnover.
And the foul called on Anthony Davis. That's his first foul.
Well, I love it. He gets there first, absorbs the contact. Nice play defensively.
No flop there. He took that one right in the chest.
And the Lakers making a change here. And Clark, you talked about LeBron and the college level. He looks like he's playing against college players. You know, Steve, with his strength and his size.
Well, he can do everything.
Sort of showmanship is just deflating right now to a team trying Clark to get back into this game like this.
Yeah, definitely a jam with emphasis. A big apostrophe or exclamation point. How about maybe even a question mark?
Well, you know what the questions are about now? It's their defense. That's for sure.
Shot's good by Walker. Pass to Tunji. Ball stolen. Got it off in time. Got it up in time, but it wouldn't fall for him. At the end of one, a closely contested game so far. New York. We welcome you back to Noche Latina. Becoming an annual tradition is always here on 2K Sports and always exciting. And what stands out to you from New York in this one?
And you could see early on, guys, they were going to go inside and try to establish their offense in the paint area. That's exactly what they've done.
And I think that's exactly where they should continue to attack moving forward, Steve. Lakers ended up 17-13 against Eastern Conference teams last year, but that wasn't really a dominating effort. Certainly not what you would expect from a playoff team.
Shot clock at 6. Schroeder passes to Walker for the three. It's rebounded by Tunji. New York leading by 3. Pass to Rose. It's tipped. Stolen by Schroeder. And it's the Lakers on the break. And count it. 2 points with a change. 1 more at the free throw line.
And that kind of power move has become a trademark for him.
Well, and to make the playoffs in the West, you do need to have a record similar to that of the Lakers against the East. You know, Steve, no team that made the postseason in the West had a record below 500. So the Lakers took care of what they needed to.
Well, you know what's odd, Kevin, is that in the shortened season before, when the Lakers were the cream of the Pacific Division and everything was going well, they only went 500 against the East. So, if they want to bounce back this season, they'll need to not give away games and make sure they keep their out-of-conference record better than 500.
Let's check out what Doris Burke has for us.
Gentlemen, there are some analysts who call Nerlens Noel a savant shot blocker, but he also averaged over 2 steals a game at Kentucky last season. Offense is something he's still developing, however. Noel said, quote, "Every team is always going to have its given scores. Defense is something that's undervalued. It can change the whole game in significant ways. He knows his game, guys."
He certainly does, Doris. Thanks. At the run, kept alive. Bryant. He's covered by Brown. Goes back up. Rebounded by the Lakers. 1:21 left to play in the first half.
Anytime you have an offense that's based on a lot of isolations, you're not going to get a ton of assists. Despite being right at the bottom in terms of team assist totals, the Knicks were still a pretty good offensive team.
Let's it go with a 3. No good. And New York the other way now. The dish to Rose. There's 49 seconds left now here in the second. Number 55 shakes off the strong the bucket for 2. Los Angeles is about 0-2 from deep here in the second. The shot's good from 48. For Los Angeles, we're on 3 of their first 5 shots to drop here in the second quarter. Clark, as you said, the Knicks were a solid team on offense in the top third amongst all NBA teams. But, Steve, it wasn't because they were zipping the ball around.
No, they ran a lot of isolation plays, particularly for Carmelo Anthony. It was effective at times, but you could see when the Knicks struggled, it was usually because their offense kind of came to a halt and they weren't able to generate the movement to open up to a 3-point shooting.
A couple of very shaky possessions in a row. One turnover right on top of for the other.
Yeah, I think they just need to slow it down for a minute, catch their breath before they give the ball away again.
And it's a completely new group for Los Angeles. There's the pass to Randall. Here's Barrett. And it's good off the back rim and in. He's got 6. And here is Davis. Here's Russell. Wow, he nails the buzzer beater.
A huge three to cut it close going to halftime. It's still anyone's ball game.
And now, brought to you by Sprint.
It's a lively Friday evening here at 2K Sports. Hopefully you're having a great time watching a little basketball tonight. New York leading against the Lakers. Wiping the glass defensively. Look, no streaks. They're preventing any second chance opportunities. Not to be outdone, the Lakers also giving it their all. With 2 quarters left to play, they've been an offensive juggernaut, scoring with impunity. Anthony Davis certainly contributing with his play. He's carved up the D like a hot knife through a warm cliche. Great play so far. And that'll be all for this episode. It's in the books. I'm all done reading. Thanks so much for watching, and enjoy the second half.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
And an aerial view of the Chrysler Building with all of Manhattan glittering under the night sky.
And, you know, for the Lakers last season, a lot of turmoil. And you think about the coaching change, but it wasn't just that. It was a whole system change as well. And the front office felt the Princeton offense they started using wasn't working out. So they were in a state of flux all season long.
Russell dishes to LeBron. And it's going to be 2 free throws, 2 contact on the shot. And going back to the Princeton offense that Clark mentioned, Steve, tell us about that offense and why do you think it didn't work out?
Well, they only gave it 5 games, Kevin. I mean, Mike Brown was 1-4 when he got fired, and that's impossible to install an offense and expect it to work that quickly. So, I mean, I think the offense would have been fine if they had given it time and given Mike Brown some time to install it. Well, for the Lakers last season, it seemed there was so much turmoil throughout the year. Injuries, coaching-wise, changes in the offense. They never were able to really gain any momentum. They made a decent run at the end of the season, but that didn't carry over into the postseason when they were swept by the Lakers in the first round.
Robinson takes it into the teeth of the knee and converts the layup. Robinson's got the first points of the third quarter up on the board for New York. And loaded Davis. And it goes as the official calls the foul. Count it. He'll shoot one more at the free throw line. I think going back to D'Antoni and the Lakers, that Howard and Gasol were made more than a little disgruntled with how Clark he made use or didn't make use of them offensively.
You know, the Lakers brought in D'Antoni to try to emphasize Steve Nash and his role in the offense, but I think they neglected how that would affect the 7-footers. Didn't do a really good job of incorporating those guys, and when you've got Kobe getting his shots, that's a tough dynamic to work through.
And that one falls for Davis.
Probably the biggest knock on Anthony Davis you could make his rookie season is that he missed a lot of time with injuries, and that's really not something you knock a guy for. Ankle, a concussion. He missed several stretches.
And the whistle blows on the backcourt violation. He went over and back.
You know, sometimes the intensity of the game can lead to brain-neutral plays like that, guys.
So it's the Lakers now. Plays up the pick. Here's Russell. No luck. Excellent D that time from Robinson. And for Anthony Davis, his slender build, how he weathers the physicality of the NBA in some people's minds, Steve, is a question.
It's always hard to predict. You know, a player comes out of college after his freshman year, just how much more he's going to fill out. But he's got broad shoulders. He looks like he's got the ability to add muscle. And I think as he does that, He's going to be probably best suited to play the power forward position long term rather than center.
You know, for a long time, the Knicks were viewed as a young team on the rise, but when they added Rasheed Wallace last year, the average age went to 32, which was the oldest team in the league last season. And you saw it in their play. They were a group of veterans out there.
And for the Knicks, the veteran leadership helped them at times as they had to go through some very tough stretches, Steve, due to injuries.
Yeah, they did go through some stretches, but they really did well to secure the division title and get that high seed going into the playoffs. They had a pretty decent run all in all, but this is a team that has higher aspirations than just getting to the conference semis.
The first one falls.
You know, the Knicks got off to a fast start, but when you employ as many old bodies as they did last year, it's hard to sustain the level of play you need over the course of a full season. It's one reason they started to falter late in the year.
And Clark, you said the Knicks did hit that ball last season right after the All-Star break into early March. Steve, when the vets saw the finish line in sight, they picked up their play and got back in it.
That's right. They won 13 games in a row late in the season, catapulting themselves back into the top tier of teams in the East, and let everyone know that they would not be exiting the playoffs early. That really was the start of that run.
Here's LeBron, and unable there to get the go-ahead bucket.
You know, they haven't been able to open up a big lead, but the rebounds are starting to add up for them. They may be able to pull away a little bit.
Yeah, they've been doing the dirty work inside, Steve, playing a very tough brand of basketball.
And it's Robinson with the jam.
Incredible timing on the alley-oop.
He absolutely hammered it down.
And that's the play we're going to remember when this game is all said and done.
It's LeBron with the drive. Nice ball movement here by the Lakers. Beasley kicks to Davis. Outside, Russell. There's a screen. Just 5 on the clock. LeBron James on the win. He's on Jerry. LeBron with another miss. The Knicks with the lead. Brunson, he's guarded by Russell. And done by Robinson.
Boy, the pass there floated up to the precise spot where it needed to be.
No messing around to finish. How was it through?
Sure didn't waste any time there.
I'll tell you what, that is going to be an alley-oop we'll see on the highlight reel the next few days.
Lakers have gotten just one of their first 4 shots to fall since coming out of the locker room at the break. LeBron kicks to Russell. Off target from outside. The Knicks leading by 4. Passes it to Barrett. 8-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Feeds it to Robinson.
Tough break for the defense. It took the heat and drew the whistle.
Yep. You get there late, that's what happens.
This is his first free throw of the game.
Not the guy you want to see taking too many free throws. Last season, his numbers among the worst in the league.
And guys, that was an element of his game that he could not get turned around. I mean, he was really in a funk, and it lasted all season.
And the Knicks making a change here. So he hits 1 of 2 from the strike.
The main thing there was that he got them a 2-possession lead despite the 1 miss. And they'll probably let the clock wind down here.
Exactly. No need to give the ball back before the end of the quarter.
They grab their own miss. Here's Randall. Buries the long-range jumper. They got on this a little while ago, and they just haven't looked back.
Boy, he's so hard to stop. There's a ton of matchup problems for the defense.
And we've reached the end of the third. And the final period of play just about to start. And an important part of every team's game, a look at the hustle stats for the Knicks.
Boy, their hounding, harassing effort at the defensive end, very impressive. And they forced quite a few turnovers as a result.
And I'll tell you, the other thing that's been a factor is the transition game. They're scoring a lot of points on the fast break.
Brunson, he's guarded by Russell. Pass to Hart, launches it. And it's Russell with the rebound.
Boy, he'd like to have that one back.
Here's Beasley, a finger roll finish at the bucket. Beasley's got the first field goal of the 4th quarter here for the Lakers. Number 5, covered by Beasley. And the pass to Randall. Six on the shot clock. to New York. They'll retain possession.
Still Knicks ball.
The Knicks making a switch here. Here's Hart. No good on the quick three. Lakers trail by 6. Russell passes to Beasley. Off target from three-point range.
Boy, that's a surprising miss right there. He usually feasts on those wide open opportunities.
Passes to Randall. Davis with the double team. He kicks it to Robinson.
Good. Well, I tell you what, that is a lot harder than it feels. You got to get your body just right to shield you from the defense.
They set the pick. Inside. Number 2. Yes, and it's LeBron picking up the assist.
Give an assist there, not for the pass, but for the solid screen set on the inside that freed him up and made the layup possible.
Here's Randall. Davis with the block. James in the post. And he drops it in from the low post. And now it's just a 4-point New York lead.
You know, there aren't many guys like him, players who can accelerate to the rim and finish with a flourish more often than not.
Knocked away. That's going to be out of bounds. The Knicks will retain possession.
Still Knicks ball.
A little over a minute and a half of the fourth quarter gone now. Pass to Randall. Takes the 13-footer. Not loose.
And they forced the miss with that good defensive rotation. They're playing well together as a unit.
And the bucket counts. He's on his way to the free throw line. Trying to make it a 3-point play.
Yeah, he's a full court man. What I mean by that is he has no problem just taking the ball coast to coast on the break, sometimes on his own, or if he prefers finding an open wing runner. Either way, the ability to create easy goals for his team.
And Steve, even more than that, this is what I think of when I think of him. Late in the fourth quarter, time winding down. They've got one shot to win the game. He's your man. He's the guy I'm looking for to make it happen.
Let's find out what Doris Burke has for us.
Hi, guys. Over that break, I was able to catch the message Tom Thibodeau was giving to his team. He urged his players to keep fighting, saying, "We're right there, but the margin of error has shrunk. We've got to be aggressive and smart, right, guys?"
Yeah, again, iffy shot selection there. Defender draped all over him.
Well, you got to understand who's guarding you in that situation. I mean, if he's on you tight, you can't just rise up and try to shoot over the top. Well, they're having major trouble dealing with LeBron.
50 seconds left in the fourth quarter. And there's the pass to Hart.
Pressure basket right there. Now that's coming through in the clutch.
Davis sets a screen. A drive by Russell. Lakers whipping the ball around now. LeBron gets the screen from Davis. Clock at 6. And they're going to count the bucket and send him to the line. It could be a 3-point play.
That bucket was absolutely huge. The defensive stop can seal the deal.
For Davis. For New York, they've gone 2 of 7 from the field in what's been a cold start to the fourth quarter for them. Pass to Randall. Here's the three. They'll get another chance. 3-pointer. Bullseye! Los Angeles calls timeout. They're trailing by 2. Just 2 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. Here's LeBron. Chance there to send it to overtime, but they come out empty-handed. So a close game sees New York take this one. Clark, it was anybody's game right to the very end.
Yeah, it was. The coach is happy with the outcome, but maybe not so much with the margin.
For Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for tuning in. Now it's time to present our Jordan Player of the Game.